Are you concerned about your memory and wondering if your daily routines might be silently affecting your cognitive health? Today, I'm going to reveal 5 seemingly harmless habits that could be putting your brain at risk for memory decline and Alzheimer's disease. By the time you finish watching this video, you'll discover which everyday activities are secretly damaging your memory. Learn simple adjustments that can protect your cognitive function and understand the surprising connection between your daily choices and brain health. Stay with me until the end because I'll share one powerful habit that most people overlook. But it could be the key to keeping your mind sharp for years to come. Let's dive in and uncover these memory-threatening habits that you might be doing right now without even realizing it. Introduction. Are you concerned about your memory and wondering if your daily routines might be silently affecting your cognitive health? Today I'm going to reveal 5 seemingly harmless habits that could be putting your brain at risk for memory decline and Alzheimer's disease. By the time you finish watching this video, you'll discover which everyday activities are secretly damaging your memory. Learn simple adjustments that can protect your cognitive function and understand the surprising connection between your daily choices and brain health. Stay with me until the end because I'll share one powerful habit that most people overlook, but it could be the key to keeping your mind sharp for years to come. Let's dive in and uncover these memory-threatening habits that you might be doing right now without even realizing it. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there? Or maybe you've misplaced your keys for the third time this week. While these moments might seem like normal signs of aging, they could actually be early warning signals that your daily habits are working against your brain health. What if I told you that some of the things you do every single day, things you consider completely normal, might be increasing your risk of developing Alzheimer's disease? Memory loss isn't just something that happens to other people. It's a growing concern that affects millions of families worldwide. And the scary truth is that many of us are unknowingly contributing to our own cognitive decline through habits we've never questioned. But here's the good news. Once you understand what these habits are, you have the power to change them and protect your precious memories. Think about your typical day for a moment. From the time you wake up until you go to bed, you follow certain routines and patterns. You might think these habits are harmless, maybe even healthy, but some of them could be silently chipping away at your cognitive abilities. Isn't it time you discovered which ones? The first habit that's secretly harming your memory might surprise you because it's something most people do without giving it a second thought. How many hours did you sleep last night? If you're like millions of Americans, you probably didn't get the full 8 hours your brain desperately needs. Poor sleep quality and insufficient sleep duration are among the most damaging things you can do to your memory and cognitive function. When you don't get enough quality sleep, your brain can't properly clear out the toxic proteins that accumulate throughout the day. These proteins, including beta amyloid and tau, are the same ones found in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. During deep sleep, your brain activates its natural cleaning system, washing away these harmful substances through cerebrospinal fluid. But when you cut your sleep short or experience poor sleep quality, this cleaning process gets interrupted. Do you often find yourself tossing and turning at night, checking your phone, or lying awake worrying about tomorrow's tasks? These sleep disruptions aren't just making you tired the next day, they're potentially setting the stage for memory problems down the road. Your brain consolidates memories during sleep, transferring important information from short-term to long-term storage. Without adequate sleep, this process breaks down, leaving you with fragmented memories and difficulty forming new ones. Have you noticed that after a poor night's sleep, you struggle to concentrate or remember simple things? That's your brain telling you it needs proper rest to function optimally. The connection between sleep and Alzheimer's is so strong that researchers now consider sleep disorders a significant risk factor for developing the disease. Are you giving your brain the restorative sleep it needs? Or are you unknowingly sabotaging your memory with poor sleep habits? But sleep isn't the only culprit. The second memory-damaging habit might be sitting right in front of you. Literally. How much time do you spend sitting each day? If you're like most people over 50, you probably spend far more time in chairs than your brain would prefer. Prolonged sitting and a sedentary lifestyle are silent killers of cognitive function. And the effects are more serious than you might imagine. When you sit for extended periods, your blood circulation slows down, reducing the flow of oxygen and nutrients to your brain. Your brain is an incredibly hungry organ, consuming about 20% of your body's energy and requiring constant blood flow to function properly. When you're sedentary, you're essentially starving your brain of the resources it needs to maintain healthy neural connections and form new memories. Think about your average day. Do you sit during breakfast, then sit in your car, then sit at work or while watching television, then sit during dinner? This pattern of prolonged sitting creates a cascade of negative effects in your body and brain. Your muscles become weak. Your metabolism slows down and inflammation increases throughout your body, including in your brain. Chronic inflammation is one of the key drivers of Alzheimer's disease, slowly damaging brain cells and disrupting normal cognitive function. Have you ever noticed how much clearer your thinking becomes after a good walk or some physical activity? That's because movement increases blood flow to your brain, stimulates the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, and helps create new neural pathways. Regular physical activity is one of the most powerful tools you have for protecting your memory. Yet many people unknowingly sabotage their cognitive health by living increasingly sedentary lifestyles. Are you moving enough throughout your day? Or could your sitting habits be contributing to memory decline? The answer might be more important than you realize, especially when you consider that even people who exercise regularly can still experience the negative effects of prolonged sitting if they're sedentary for most of their day. Now, let's talk about the third habit that's secretly damaging your memory. And this one might hit close to home because it involves something many people use to cope with stress and socialize with friends. How often do you have a glass of wine with dinner or enjoy a few drinks on the weekend? While moderate alcohol consumption has been touted for certain health benefits, the relationship between alcohol and brain health is far more complex and concerning than most people realize. Alcohol is a neurotoxin, meaning it's literally toxic to your brain cells. Even moderate drinking can interfere with your brain's ability to form new memories and consolidate existing ones. When you drink alcohol, it disrupts the delicate balance of neurotransmitters in your brain, affects your sleep quality, and can trigger inflammation that damages brain tissue over time. Have you ever noticed that after drinking, even just a glass or two, your sleep feels less restful, or you wake up feeling foggy and unfocused? The scary truth is that alcohol accelerates brain aging and increases your risk of developing dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Studies show that people who drink regularly, even within what's considered moderate limits, have smaller brain volumes and show signs of cognitive decline earlier than those who abstain. Your brain shrinks naturally as you age, but alcohol speeds up this process dramatically. Do you use alcohol to unwind after stressful days? While it might seem like it's helping you relax, alcohol actually increases stress on your body and brain in the long run. It disrupts your natural stress response systems and can create a cycle where you need more alcohol to achieve the same relaxing effect. This pattern not only increases your risk of developing alcohol dependence, but also continuously bathes your brain in a substance that damages memory-forming structures. Think about your drinking patterns over the past month. How many days did you have alcohol and how much did you consume? If you're honest with yourself, you might discover that what you consider occasional or moderate drinking is actually more frequent and potentially more harmful to your cognitive health than you realized. Are you willing to examine this habit and consider how it might be affecting your memory and long-term brain health? The fourth memory-damaging habit is something that affects virtually everyone in our modern world, and it's getting worse every year. How much time do you spend looking at screens each day? Between televisions, computers, tablets, and smartphones, the average person now spends over 7 hours a day staring at digital displays. And this constant exposure is rewiring our brains in ways that harm memory and cognitive function. Excessive screen time, particularly the passive consumption of digital media, is literally changing the structure of your brain. When you spend hours scrolling through social media, watching television, or mindlessly browsing the internet, you're training your brain to expect constant stimulation and instant gratification. This rewiring makes it harder for you to focus, concentrate on complex tasks, and form deep, lasting memories. Have you noticed that your attention span seems shorter than it used to be? Do you find it harder to read books, follow complex conversations, or remember details from things you watched or read? These changes aren't just signs of aging, they're symptoms of a brain that's been conditioned by excessive screen exposure to jump from one piece of information to another without properly processing any of it. The blue light emitted by screens also disrupts your natural sleep-wake cycle, interfering with the production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. Remember how we discussed the importance of quality sleep for memory consolidation? Well, screen time before bed is one of the most effective ways to sabotage your sleep quality and, consequently, your memory formation. Are you checking your phone right before bed? Or worse, keeping it next to your pillow where notifications can wake you throughout the night? But it's not just the quantity of screen time that's problematic, it's also the quality of content you're consuming. Mindlessly scrolling through social media or watching meaningless television shows provides no cognitive stimulation or challenge for your brain. Your brain needs novel experiences, complex problem solving, and meaningful social interactions to stay sharp and build new neural connections. When you spend your free time in passive digital consumption, you're missing opportunities to engage in activities that would actually strengthen your memory and cognitive abilities. Consider how you spend your evening hours. Are you actively engaging your brain with challenging activities, meaningful conversations, or learning new skills? Or are you passively consuming digital content that provides temporary entertainment but no lasting cognitive benefit? The choice you make might be determining whether your memory stays sharp or gradually declines as you age. The fifth and perhaps most surprising memory-damaging habit involves something that many people consider healthy and necessary: multitasking. How often do you try to do several things at once? In our fast-paced world, multitasking has become not just common but celebrated as a sign of efficiency and productivity. However, what most people don't realize is that multitasking is one of the most effective ways to damage your memory and accelerate cognitive decline. Your brain isn't actually capable of true multitasking. What you think is multitasking is really rapid task switching, where your brain quickly jumps from one activity to another. Each time you switch tasks, your brain has to refocus and reorient itself, which requires mental energy and creates stress. This constant switching prevents your brain from entering the deep focus states necessary for forming strong memories and learning new information effectively. Have you ever tried to have a phone conversation while checking emails? Or attempted to follow a television show while scrolling through your phone? So, you probably noticed that you didn't retain much information from either activity. That's because your brain was too busy switching between tasks to properly encode any memories. The information you encountered was processed superficially and quickly forgotten. Multitasking also increases the production of stress hormones, like cortisol, which in chronic amounts can actually shrink the hippocampus, the brain region most critical for memory formation. Then you're constantly juggling multiple tasks. You're keeping your brain in a heightened state of stress that's detrimental to long-term cognitive health. Do you often feel scattered, overwhelmed, or like you can't remember what you did earlier in the day? These feelings might be direct results of chronic multitasking. The irony is that while people multitask to be more productive, research shows that multitaskers are actually less efficient, make more mistakes, and remember less information than people who focus on one task at a time. Single tasking, or focused attention on one activity, allows your brain to enter a state called flow, where learning and memory formation are optimized. When was the last time you gave your full, undivided attention to a single task for an extended period? Think about your daily routine and identify moments where you're trying to do multiple things simultaneously. Are you eating while watching television? Listening to podcasts while doing chores? Checking your phone while having conversations? Each of these multitasking moments represents a missed opportunity for your brain to fully engage with and remember the experience now that you understand these 5 memory-damaging habits. You might be wondering what you can do about them. Good news is that your brain has an incredible capacity for change and recovery, a property scientists call neuroplasticity. Even if you've been engaging in these harmful habits for years, you can start making changes today that will protect and even improve your memory and cognitive function. Starting with sleep, how can you improve your sleep quality and duration? First, establish a consistent sleep schedule by going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Create a relaxing bedtime routine that signals to your brain that it's time to wind down. This might include reading a book, taking a warm bath, or practicing gentle stretches. Most importantly, remove all screens from your bedroom and avoid looking at any digital displays for at least 1 hour before bedtime. Consider your sleep environment carefully. Is your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet? Investing in blackout curtains, a white noise machine, or a comfortable mattress might be one of the best investments you can make in your long-term cognitive health. If you're having trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, don't just accept it as a normal part of aging. Talk to your healthcare provider about potential solutions, as addressing sleep disorders can have immediate and dramatic effects on your memory and overall brain function. To combat the negative effects of prolonged sitting, you don't need to become a marathon runner overnight. Simple changes can make a significant difference in your brain health. Set a timer to remind yourself to stand and move for at least 2 minutes every hour. Take walking meetings when possible. Park farther, away from your destination, or take the stairs instead of the elevator. Even light physical activity throughout the day can improve blood flow to your brain. Perm memory formation. Consider incorporating more structured exercise into your routine. Activities like walking, swimming, dancing, or gardening are excellent for brain health. The key is consistency rather than intensity. A moderate 30-minute walk most days of the week can be more beneficial for your cognitive health than sporadic, intense workouts. What physical activities did you enjoy when you were younger that you might be able to resume or adapt for your current fitness level? Regarding alcohol consumption, the safest approach for brain health is to minimize or eliminate alcohol entirely. If you choose to drink, limit consumption to special occasions rather than making it a regular habit. Pay attention to how alcohol affects your sleep, mood, and cognitive function the next day. You might be surprised to discover that even small amounts of alcohol have more impact on your mental clarity than you realized. If you use alcohol to manage stress or socialize, explore alternative approaches that actually support your brain health. Meditation, yoga, social activities that don't revolve around drinking, or hobbies that engage your mind can provide stress relief without the cognitive costs associated with alcohol. What activities help you feel relaxed and connected that don't involve drinking? To address excessive screen time, start by becoming aware of how much time you actually spend on digital devices. Most smartphones have built-in screen time monitoring features that can show you exactly how many hours you spend on different apps. Each day, the results might shock you and motivate you to make changes. Implement screen-free zones and times in your home. Keep meals, bedrooms, and the first hour after waking screen-free. Instead of passively consuming digital content, choose activities that actively engage your brain. Read books, work on puzzles, learn a new skill, or engage in meaningful conversations with friends and family. These activities provide cognitive stimulation that strengthens memory and builds new neural pathways. Finally, to overcome the habit of multitasking, practice what psychologists call mindful single tasking. When you eat, focus entirely on the experience of eating, taste the flavors, notice the textures, and appreciate the nourishment you're providing your body. When you have a conversation, put away all distractions and give the other person your full attention. When you read or watch something educational, eliminate all other inputs and focus completely on absorbing the information. You might find single tasking challenging at first, especially if you've been multitasking for years. Your brain has been conditioned to expect constant stimulation, and it will need time to readjust to sustained focus. Start with short periods of focused attention and gradually increase the duration as your concentration improves. How might your relationships, work, performance, and memory improve if you gave each activity your complete attention? The journey to better brain health doesn't require dramatic overnight changes. Small, consistent modifications to these 5 habits can have profound effects on your memory and cognitive function over time. Your brain is remarkably adaptable, and every positive choice you make creates new neural pathways that support better memory and clearer thinking. Remember, preventing memory loss and reducing your risk of Alzheimer's disease isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Choose 1 or 2 of these habits to work on first and gradually incorporate more changes as these become natural parts of your routine. Which habit will you start addressing today, and what specific steps will you take to make that change? Most important thing to understand is that you have more control over your cognitive health than you might have believed. While genetics play a role in Alzheimer's risk, lifestyle factors like the habits we've discussed today have an enormous impact on whether and when cognitive decline might occur. By making informed choices about your daily routines, you're taking proactive steps to protect your precious memories and maintain your mental sharpness as you age. Your brain has supported you throughout your entire life, storing your most treasured memories and enabling you to navigate the world with wisdom and experience. Isn't it worth making some changes to protect and preserve this incredible organ for the years ahead? The habits you choose today will determine the clarity and sharpness of your mind. Tomorrow, if you found this information valuable and you're committed to protecting your memory and cognitive health, I want to encourage you to take action right now. Leave a comment below and tell me which of these 5 habits you recognize in your own life and which one you're going to start changing. First, your commitment to making this change public will help you stay accountable and might inspire others who are struggling with the same challenges. For everyone who made it to the end of this video, hit that like button to let me know this information was helpful and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content about protecting your brain health and maintaining your memory as you age. There's another video appearing on your screen right now that dives deeper into specific brain-healthy foods that can further protect your memory. I highly recommend watching it next to continue building your knowledge about cognitive health and Alzheimer's prevention.